Here is the quality trap that catches most PMP candidates. They think quality management means inspecting deliverables and fixing defects. That is quality control. And while quality control matters, PMI's philosophy goes much further, and the exam tests that philosophy relentlessly. In this video, I'll break down Task 7 from Domain 2, Plan and Manage Quality. We'll cover the three enablers, the critical distinction between QA and QC that the exam tests on almost every quality question, the cost of quality framework, and a practice question that exposes exactly where most candidates go wrong. Let's get into it. Task 7 sits in Domain 2, Process, 50% of the exam. The task statement is, plan and manage quality of products and deliverables. There are three enablers. First, determine quality standards, metrics, and acceptance criteria for project deliverables. Second, recommend options for improvement based on quality gaps. Third, continually survey project deliverable quality to ensure ongoing conformance. Three enablers, covering quality planning, quality improvement, and quality monitoring. The trap most candidates fall into is focusing only on the third enabler, checking quality after the fact, when PMI rewards the first two, defining quality up front and improving processes before defects occur. This is the distinction that appears on almost every quality question and where most candidates lose points. Quality assurance, QA, is about the process. It asks, are we following the right methods to produce quality outcomes? QA happens throughout the project. It is audit-driven, process-driven, and preventative. QA findings lead to process improvements, not product rework. Quality control, QC, is about the product. It asks, does this specific deliverable meet the defined standards? QC happens at inspection points. It is measurement-driven and detective. It finds defects after they have been created. The exam trap. Candidates choose QC answers when QA is the correct response, because inspection feels more concrete than process improvement. PMI consistently rewards QA, prevention, over QC, detection. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember that. The first enabler is determine quality standards, metrics, and acceptance criteria. Before any work begins, the project manager establishes what quality means for this project. Quality standards come from three sources: organizational standards, internal policies and procedures the project must follow; industry standards, ISO, IEEE, PMI itself, regulatory framework specific to the project's domain; customer requirements, what the customer has explicitly stated as acceptable. Acceptance criteria are specific, measurable conditions a deliverable must meet to be accepted. They answer, how will we know this is done to the right quality? On the exam, any scenario where a deliverable is accepted or rejected, the decision is based on acceptance criteria. If acceptance criteria were not defined, that is a planning failure. The PM is responsible for defining them before execution begins. The second enabler is recommend options for improvement based on quality gaps. When quality monitoring reveals that actual quality is below standard, the project manager does not simply rework the defective deliverable. They investigate the process that produced it. This is where QA thinking enters. A defect in a deliverable is a symptom. The root cause is almost always a process problem. Unclear requirements, insufficient training, inadequate tools, or rushed execution. The improvement recommendation targets the process, not just the output. On the exam, when a quality problem is identified, the correct first step is always to understand why, root cause analysis, before recommending corrective action. An answer that immediately reworks the deliverable without investigating the process is almost always wrong. The third enabler is continually survey project deliverable quality to ensure ongoing conformance. Quality is not checked once at project closure. It is monitored throughout execution. Continuous quality monitoring includes planned inspections and reviews at defined points in the project, real-time monitoring of quality metrics, and stakeholder feedback on delivered work. On the exam, continuous quality monitoring means the PM actively tracks quality indicators, not just waits for defects to be reported. When metrics trend negative, the PM acts before the standard is breached, not after. The cost of quality framework is tested directly on the PMP exam. It says every quality decision has a cost, whether you invest in quality or ignore it. Cost of conformance, money spent to achieve quality. Prevention costs, training, process design, quality planning, tool investment. Appraisal costs, inspection, testing, audits. These are investments. Cost of nonconformance, money lost because quality was not achieved. Internal failure costs, rework, scrap, retesting. External failure costs, warranty claims, customer compensation, reputational damage. These are consequences. The PMI principle, prevention is always cheaper than failure. $1 invested in prevention saves many dollars in failure costs. On the exam, answers that prioritize prevention over inspection and inspection over failure reflect this principle. In predictive projects, quality management follows a formal structure. The quality management plan documents the quality standards the project must meet, the quality roles and responsibilities, the quality metrics that will be tracked, and the quality control and assurance activities planned for each phase. Quality audits, a QA activity, are formal reviews of project processes to confirm they are being followed correctly and identify improvement opportunities. Audits are not inspections of deliverables. They inspect the way work is being done. On the exam, a question about auditing a process is a QA question. A question about inspecting a deliverable is a QC question. Know the difference, and you will identify the correct tool every time. In Agile environments, quality is not a separate phase. It is embedded in every sprint. This is one of the most tested distinctions in the quality domain. Definition of done is the Agile equivalent of acceptance criteria, a team-wide agreement on what completed and quality verified means for every story. Nothing is considered done until it meets the definition of done. Continuous integration, frequent merging and testing of code, is a QA practice that prevents defects from accumulating. Test-driven development writes tests before code, ensuring quality is planned before work begins. Retrospectives are quality improvement activities. The team identifies what is working and what needs to change. On the exam, Agile quality questions test whether you understand that in Agile, quality is everyone's responsibility in every sprint, not a separate team's job at the end. A deliverable can conform to every specification and still not be fit for use, if the specifications were wrong. This distinction matters on the exam. Conformance to requirements tests whether the deliverable matches what was documented. Fit for use tests whether the deliverable actually works for the customer's purpose. PMI expects project managers to pursue both. A technically perfect product that does not serve the customer's real need is a quality failure, even if every specification was met. This connects directly to Task 1's focus on business value. Quality is ultimately defined by whether value was delivered, not whether a checklist was completed. 3 traps on Task 7 questions. Trap 1. Choosing inspection when prevention is the answer. PMI consistently rewards investing in quality up front over finding and fixing defects later. When in doubt, choose the option that prevents the quality problem rather than detects it. Trap 2. Confusing QA and QC. Quality assurance is a process review. Quality control is a product inspection. When the question describes reviewing how work is being done, it is QA. When it describes checking a finished deliverable, it is QC. Trap 3. reworking without investigating root cause. When a defect is found, the PMI answer always includes root cause analysis before corrective action. Reworking the defect without understanding why it occurred guarantees the same defect will appear again. Let's recap Task 7, Plan and Manage Quality. Enabler 1, Define standards. Establish quality metrics and acceptance criteria before work begins. Enabler 2, Recommend improvements. When quality gaps appear, investigate process root cause before reworking deliverables. Enabler 3, Survey continuously. Monitor quality metrics throughout execution, not just at closure. The trap. QA equals process and prevention. QC equals product and inspection. Prevention costs less than failure. PMI always rewards prevention first. Fit for use matters as much as conformance to requirements. Let's test your understanding and expose the quality trap. Question. A project manager notices that the same type of defect has appeared in 3 consecutive deliverables. Each time, the deliverable was reworked and eventually accepted. The project is on a tight schedule. What should the project manager do? Option A. Continue reworking defective deliverables as they appear to keep the project moving. Option B. Conduct a quality audit to identify the root cause of the recurring defect and implement a process improvement to prevent it. Option C. Increase inspection frequency on all future deliverables to catch defects earlier. Option D. Escalate the quality issue to the sponsor and request additional time and budget for rework. The correct answer is B. This question is designed to expose the quality trap. The same defect appearing 3 times is not a deliverable problem. It is a process problem. The correct PMI response is a quality audit, a QA activity, to find the root cause and implement a process improvement that prevents recurrence. This is more effective and ultimately faster than reworking every defective deliverable. Why not A? Continuing to rework without investigating root cause guarantees the defect continues, the trap the question is named for. Why not C? Increasing inspection is a QC response. It finds defects faster but does not prevent them. Prevention costs less. Why not D? Escalation is premature. The PM has not yet attempted direct resolution through process improvement. B is correct because it applies QA thinking. Investigate the process, prevent the defect, deliver quality sustainably. That is your complete guide to PMP Domain 2, Task 7, and the quality trap that catches most candidates. QA is process. QC is product. Prevention beats inspection. Always. Subscribe for more PMP exam prep. Next up, the scope trap. Domain 2, Task 8 explained. See you in the next video.